What's up, everybody? My name is Detebits, and this is Elite Dangerous. Gonna be doing something a little bit different today. I know I've been doing a lot of Star Wars The Old Republic for the channel, and I figured I would put up a video of another game that I really enjoy playing, and I'm actually getting more and more excited about picking Elite Dangerous back up because of the upcoming Odyssey expansion, which will finally allow us to walk around inside space stations and outside of our ships. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on in here. It's going to take a minute to log in, and I have started a new career basically in preparation for Odyssey coming out. It's still a couple of months away, but I play the game kind of on a slower path, so it doesn't. I don't I don't try to jump like super far right away. I like a little bit of a slower progression, so that's why I went ahead and started over. Brand new, brand new pilot here. New ship. I'm still in the Pilots Federation, which is the starter area. I'm gonna go ahead and pop into open play. You got a couple of options when you play Elite. You can do open play, which you have the chance of running into other players. Group, if you want to have just a small private session for a group of friends, and solo if you don't want to run into anybody else. If the only other people you want to encounter are NPCs. You're pretty safe inside the Pilots Federation area. But I'm going to stick around here for just a little bit. If you see... where did my inventory go? Oh, no, wrong thing. I've only got about 10,000, just under 11,000 credits, so I need more money. So the big thing, what I'm gonna do here, let's look and see what options I have at Mawson Dock for a new ship. So that's the Sidewinder. That's the ship you start with. You got the Eagle, which is a combat ship. The Hauler, which is a small cargo ship. The Adder, which is basically a hauler with a little bit extra added on. The Viper, which is actually a pretty decent combat ship for an entry-level ship. And then you got the Cobra. The Cobra is the ship that I'm actually going to be working towards. I want to be able to have this before I leave the Pilots Federation area. It's only about 350,000 credits. It doesn't take a super long time to actually get yourself into one. And basically the Cobra takes what's good about the Sidewinder and just ramps it up. But what I'm going to be doing here, I'm currently in the Dromi section, and if I go to around the nav beacon, what I can do is actually help the local security forces with outlaw ships, and by shooting them down, I will get bounty vouchers that I can come back and trade in for credits. Basically, it's before I do that, though, I do think I need to check a couple of small things. Okay, I've got my lasers on my utility, or my hardpoints. Utility mounts, I want to browse the shop. Okay, just heat sinks and shield boosters here. Nothing really that's going to help boost. There are certain scanners that you can get that you can actually see if there are kill warrants and stuff like that. You don't need them, but they can actually give a bonus to the credit awards that you get. So I'm super lazy. I always use the flight assists, pretty much. So I'm gonna go ahead and launch just with auto launch here. This handles all of my piloting into and out of space stations. Turn my headset down just a hair. The lift is a little bit loud. I got a nice kind of azure metallic paint job on my Sidewinder here. There's something, I don't know when that was added, but I have it for a few different ships. Alright. So now we are out of space station. I can go ahead and throttle up. That'll cancel the rest of the auto launch. Here is Dromi 1. That's the planet that Moss and Doc is in orbit around. And I need to be careful here because if I get too close to the rings when I go into Super Cruise, it'll drop me out and I'll have to fly through the rings to get to the other side. If I can sneak in between the rings and the planet, I might be able to just it'll be kind of slow going, but I'll be able to get through. But we're gonna head over to the nav beacon and do some bounty hunting, basically, just to try and get some funds up right away. All right, perfect there to slide through. And I'm going to go ahead and click on my Super Cruise Assist. This will take over. It's an autopilot for all intents and purposes. That'll pilot me straight to the nav beacon, and so. Now, there are a couple of places inside each system that you can kind of do this. If there are ringed planets and resource extraction areas, then you can do that there. You can do this same kind of stuff there too. You are clean. So what I'm looking for is I'm scanning the ships that are around, and if I find somebody that's wanted, I can, provided that I find out that they're wanted before I take a shot at them. Clean. I can engage them, and they I won't get a bounty for targeting a non-combatant, but then I can, I'll get a bounty reward for taking them out, basically. Now there are a couple of ships off this way. Okay, I'm probably going to run across some of the same ones. If I don't find anybody here, what I'll do is pop out of here and see if there's a resource extraction site that I can go to in system, and see about finding some people there to fight. Are these guys actually here, or are we just out of range? I don't know why. There we go. Alright, Pilots Federation guys. Some of these guys might actually be system security, especially if they're like those guys are flying vultures, which are the vultures are combat ships. Everybody's coming up clean so far. I might actually not be able to. I don't know if I can do this in the starter system. We'll find out though. Sometimes it can take a couple of minutes of just flying around, looking at other ships before you get into any kind of action. Ooh, Python. That's a big boy. Okay, now here's a wanted target. Now I can engage him myself, and he may actually be hunting them down. You know, he may be engaged in piracy, and I'm trying to. Let's go ahead. Let's see if I can stick him behind him. Stay behind him. Because he's gonna start shooting back, and yep, that was a bad idea. So the Python is a bit out of my ability to deal with. That's fine. I'm not going to edit that out. Don't worry. You're going to see every time I die, because I am primarily not a combat pilot in this game. I will do combat from time to time, but yeah, you kind of saw like how good at it I am. Plus, you know, this is a stock Sidewinder, so it's not the strongest ship. I should have waited to see if anybody, any system security was gonna,
Landing coupler disengaged. Watch for oncoming traffic when passing through the airlock.
if anybody, I should have seen if system security was gonna help and target him first. Had that happened, he probably would have been targeting the system security guys and left me alone, and I could have just kept shooting him. But we're gonna try something a little bit different. We're gonna see resource extraction site. That was also bad. Like, I didn't have my power management set really well, so my shields, my shields are paper thin right now anyway. But they dropped exceptionally fast because I had all of my available power to my engines. Overshot the target. I do that all the time. Oh, this is kind of like a brown dwarf star here, and it's also in the system. It's kind of a very hot gas giant that's didn't quite meet the didn't quite have enough oomph to become a star. I know just enough to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to stellar objects and stuff, and stuff that deals with space. All right, coming in. I was coming in from the side of the rings, so it was I was basically would have had to fly through the entire ring system to get in here. Okay, so we drop in. Then you notice it's nice and light out here. Got a couple of ships floating around or flying around already. And you see some of them flash green. Those are your system patrol craft. Ooh, okay. Right away we got a wanted ship. Now he's a Fertilance. It's also another kind of dangerous. Right, yep, he started targeting. There we go. 93,000 credits just for him. patrol craft. It's a Viper Mark IV.
Scan detected.
There's somebody else that's wanted. So if I get in on the fight... Trying to
Target
get
shields offline.
back around on him.
Scan detected. Target
Okay.
destroyed.
There's two. That's about 100,000 credits right there. Let's see. We got a bunch of system patrol craft out here. Okay, now we got a wing of enemies here. There's 3 of them.
Target shields offline.
Uh-oh, I lost everybody. Nope.
Target destroyed.
Got somebody else up here that's wanted. So let's put some power into my shields. So that way when I get up on him...
Target shields offline. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Now, I want to say there was another one out here, another one of these guys, but they may have, the system patrol might have gotten him down, might have got taken care of him before I ever even got eyes on. There's a pirate active out here somewhere. He's scanning people, seeing what they're carrying. I don't know where he is though. There we are.
Under attack. Target shields offline.
His buddy is shooting me up pretty badly.
Target shields online.
Alright, so System security is helping me fight these guys off.
Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
Okay. Anyway, you kind of get the idea of what I'm going for here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop back to the station. You know, I'll come back. I'll probably come back out on my own time just to get a little bit of a basic credits going. And before I that brown dwarf star. So we are going to go back to Mawson Dock. Where are you? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's on the other side of the rings. Oh no! Thought I might crash into either the rings or that brown dwarf star there. Neither one would have been good, because if you drop out of frame shift, out of Super Cruise, and are come on, I'm aligning with the destination. Sorry about my horrible piloting here. I am, for some reason, having a hard time lining up on Mawson Dock. I think I know why. Anyway, so I'm gonna go turn in these combat bonds, stop the recording there for today, and I'll probably go back out on my own time and continue and just build up that basic credits. Next time I come on for Elite Dangerous, probably, you know, I'll do this at least once a week, because I want to keep focus on some of the other stuff that I've been doing. So it'll probably be, you know, it'll be a couple of days before I come back for Elite Dangerous, but I should have enough at that point to purchase and at least start the outfitting of the Cobra. That's really the ship that I always try to get. This is the third or fourth time that I've started over in Elite, and the Cobra is the ship that I always try to get into before leaving the Pilots Federation area. It's such a good multi-role ship. You can do basically almost any mission type to a certain extent. You know, it's got sufficient space for some cargo runs. You can do passenger missions with it. You can do combat with it. You can do exploration with it. You know, it's a decent starter ship. It's a good place to start until you can get into some of the more focused ships. And I mean, who knows? Depending on how long I stay out here, I may save up money to get something even better once I get outside of the Pilots Federation. Because your options are kind of limited in here. This is the starter area where not a lot of, where you can't progress too far. I mean, I could I could do my entire career here inside the Pilots Federation. But that's kind of boring.
Ulysses Tango to Hotel Echo. Please comply with flight regulations as you approach the station, Commander.
So,
Landing
again,
completed. Adjust heading for approach to pad 4-4.
again,
Restricted docking approved.
I'm lazy, so I do auto dock. it's not so much that I'm lazy. It's that I'm just really not that great of a pilot. I play this game for the scenery, because there are some places that you will see that are gorgeous. Like a friend of mine asked me the other day what keeps me coming back and playing this game as frequently as I do, and it's the fact that I never know I never know what the next system that I'm gonna jump into is gonna look like. Am I gonna run across a pulsar? Am I gonna run across a white dwarf, a black hole? What kind of stars am I looking at? How many stars in the system are there? Are they close together? All kinds of different things that you can see, in the galaxy. And there's and I know this because I've run across it. There's alien life out there in this game, So there's a lot of stuff that you can run into and it's just I've been enamored with space since I was a little kid, and
Contact. Commence system shutdown.
without having the career that took me into space, this is to me the next best thing for me. That's why I like it so much. So let me go to my contacts. We can go to my authority contact, I believe. Yeah, okay, so look at that. I've got 572,000 in bounties that I can redeem right away. And you know what that means. Oh, we don't even have to wait for the next game or the next time I log in. I have enough. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We will... Now, the Sidewinder, you don't get anything for it. So I always keep it. Every once in a while, even later on, like I in my last play, I had an Anaconda, which is one of the top tier ships, and I every once in a while still liked bringing out the Sidewinder. And just so that we can get a good view of it. There we are, guys. Oop, let's go back in. Hide that, just so that there's not a lot of garbage on the screen. This is my new Cobra. Isn't she pretty? Now I've got some different liveries that I can put on her. These are just remote cameras, and sometimes they're a little bit hard to control. Well, for me anyway. Coordination on both thumbs at the same time is not something that I've it's probably one of the reasons why I've always kind of shied away from first-person shooter type games. But you can see, like, the Cobra looks very much like an upgraded Sidewinder. That kind of makes sense. The Cobra is also a Falcon de Lacy. I believe it's Falcon de Lacy, one of the manufacturers. It's the same, basically the same company that makes the Sidewinder makes the Cobra. So the Cobra just takes what was good about the Sidewinder and makes it better. But that is where I'm going to leave it today. I hope you enjoyed this. I absolutely love this game and can't wait to get back out into the main part of the universe and start showing you some of the sights. There's some really cool stuff out there. If you like what I'm doing with, if you like what I did, what you know, if you like what I'm doing with this, go ahead and drop a like on the video for me. Comments are always welcome. Subscribe if you want. I'm still going to be focusing mainly on the Old Republic that I've been doing during the week, but this is going to be a nice break from that every couple of days. And yeah, we'll be seeing some pretty spectacular sights. So again, until next time, everybody, safe travels.